All right, we're back today with more Pillars of Eternity 2. Just recovered from some technical difficulties. The game kept booting to a black screen and crashing. Performance issues are the biggest complaint. Do you see performance issues elsewhere, like frame rate slowdowns, or is it mostly those kinds of like black screen crashes? Oh, one of those, yeah. Had that bug in a couple games. There's like a leak or something, the frame rate just gets worse and worse. The weirdest one I think we ever had was Hollow Knight had a bug that was related to having X input turned on in Steam Big Picture mode. There was some kind of leak there. Just could not figure it out for the longest time.
Be right there.
Kind of want to do some main story stuff. Let me see if I can do Veins of Aora. Kahanga Palace in the Serpent Crown District. Lots of traversal, involves multiple load screens in succession. Yeah. I guess once you're on a screen, you tend to spend a lot of time there, but unless if you're like just moving between two places, right? Hey, Serp, what's up? Like, this is frustrating because I don't even want to go out into the main market area. I want to go from here to the map area, right? So I'll get a second load when I go to do that. Uh-oh. It's more demanding than Monster Hunter.
My Seraphim, is there anything you have a hard time with, aside from humility?
I fancy at most things, more so all things piratical.
If only we were all as confident in real skills as you are in imagined ones.
You'd be right surprised how far confidence will take you, lad. Or you'd have to give it a try.
I think so. I don't know. Today's our first day with crashing issues. That's new. Alright, it said Serpent's Crown. Oh, but interesting. It doesn't let me go there right away. I don't think I've seen areas that are locked to me yet. Does that just mean they're trying to like keep it from being too overwhelming when you first get here? Definitely don't want to leave the city entirely. And I'm not allowed to travel to the Sacred Stair from here. So I'll pop out back really quick just to see what happens. Oh, it's based on the exit you take. Approached by a Principi group. Oh, nice, sir. Congrats. Way to go. Seraphin stops as the other pirates approach, his fists balled. The heat of his anger flushes your skin.
Hold up, Cap. That be Malnage, the High Queen Sea Devil of the Deadfire herself, awaiting us like a shark in heat.
Who?
Malnage, former ship hunter of the Sorcerer, taught me the trade, theoretically.
Fight against it now. We can let the visions come. Aching, filthy rag in your mouth, soaked through and briny. Every breath like drowning. Shouting from the bulwark. Ignore it, she says. Ignore it and focus, you useless sack of spider shit.
Captain, I've heard a mess and a half about you. Mostly good.
Though I see your taste in company could use some refining.
Typical Molnage. Can't match my skill, so you try to spew shit.
Boy, when you're as old as me, your skill will still be naught more than the untrained fumbling of an Adeiran maid to the refined workings of my mind.
What brings you here?
I've heard about your run-ins with Captains Benweth and Ferrante. Meeting the old Principe seems like. Almost makes a girl green, the envy of missing the party. I'm tracking a man by the name of Rimaro, traitor to the cause.
Romaro ain't no traitor, you mind-blind sack of squid squirts.
It's pretty good. Mind-blind sack of squid squirts. Sharp strike against your cheek. Your head hits wood hard. The wet of something rolling down the back of your scalp. Right, so Malnage abused him.
Captain, there'll be a bounty of some 4,000 pounds on Rimaro, quick or dead. I'd be willing to cut you a
Dear
tenth
with
of
money.
that, here and now, if you give me any knowledge you might have stumbled across on your travels.
Kindly fuck off. I know nothing of
Watcher.
this.
You don't want to go making yourself an enemy of the Principe Sen Patrena. Anyone aids our enemies shares their fate, you know? Fare thee well, Captain. See you around, Seraphim.
Yoke. Oh, I see, and that's just a space for a potential encounter. So potentially if I exit via a different path here, I'm guessing this just goes me in the same direction I was already going. But I'd have to leave from a different direction in the main part of the city to select one of these other locations, right? Well, I'll keep going outside the city. There might be like some burial grounds or something that'll come back. Quanah tribes traditionally heap their dead onto pyres or give their bodies to the deep sea. That's basically a burial mound, okay. Are my crew burning through supplies even when I'm not at sea? Or are they just assumed to be getting stuff at shore? Ooh, I got a pendant, dragon pendant. Grants Breath of Flames. This has to be randomized, right? Just wages. Okay. Really? Interesting. Yeah, it's like paying wages to servants in a tabletop RPG. It's basically not a real cost at all. Cutting your way through the dense, hilly jungles to the west of Neketaka when you stumble upon a small campsite. Appears abandoned, but then you see bodies. Perception, search the area. Aloth succeeded. Examine the tracks. Failure. Vision tugs at you. Lurkers. Parasitic carnivorous plants. Yeah, we're remembering how these people died, basically. Search for salvage. Fang antler pelt. Sugar, milk, mercuberries, water, egg, pork, fresh fruit. Nice. Search the area. I'm guessing I don't get another chance at tracking. I'll put that lamp of yours to use, Shoti. She does her Yuna ascending. Bury versus burn the bodies. Ader looks impressed. Shoti chokes back a laugh. I don't think I realized that Aethys worshippers burn bodies. What's the lore reason for that? Does it have to do with like zombies or something? All the tracks. Conjure a magical decoy as a distraction. That's cool. Oh, but I would need to actually have it on a character. Interesting. Yeah, I love these custom options. It's really fun. Sneak closer. The boots aren't particularly mattering. Fail. I was injured. Hooray! Apparently gotta put more points into that. I don't have a spyglass, that's correct.
How may I help?
These eyes are all reasonably leveled. I think I can get 3 hits with this, can I? Which is just this target's a location. I don't think I want to mess around with that.
Happy to oblige.
Call the clutch. So this necklace that gives me Breath of Flames and Call the Clutch, is that infinite use or is it like a one-time thing? One per rest, okay. Right, buddy, you gotta go murder some people.
Absolutely.
Nice. Deeps.
Hey.
It uses his turn if he uses leap.
Stay behind me.
Probably should have gone for a knockdown there. I think I need more crowd control. Planning to cast stuff. Oh, the monsters are getting big-headed at the moment. So whenever that happens, I'll turn that off. It's only really helpful for humanoid characters. Yeah, okay.
I'm fixing to be sick.
I'll teach you a lesson.
I'm having some trouble moving through this. How may I help?
Shoot cast, let's see. That rolling flame, maybe? They got charmed or something, lame. Let's not do that.
Happy to oblige.
Knock some dudes down, maybe? Let's see. Shit, I was on accident. Perfect. Perfect. Beauty.
What for, Cap?
As many of them as I can over here.
Nightcap.
Nice. Should be able to cast my nuke next turn.
Yeah.
Probably need to get some AoE with Ader at some point. It's really good, Karam. Quite a bit better than the first game.
I feel off.
Show 'em how it's done.
Did Drake want to do anything? It's just kind of sitting up there.
I'm having some trouble moving through this.
See if that thing billiards off the wall back there at all. Blessed Harvest.
Lovely beyond seek.
Ooh, we gotta level up. That's exciting. I'm doing alright.
I feel off.
Ahoy.
Overdo it on these things. I'm about to kill them. Eloth's ability.
Me too.
Yeah.
Knockdown. Perfect. No billiards there. Not as good of a spell when you're outdoors, it turns out.
Even me.
Shoti should have used a
Aye.
second wind on her last time she had a turn. Oops.
This is futile.
Yeah.
Do it now.
I'll light the darkness.
What for, Cap?
Well, it's a small amount of damage.
Oh, this is most unpleasant.
Attack from their high resistances? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a steampunky setting.
Aye. That's not very helpful.
Okay, so he was resistant to that, basically.
Yeah.
He says that's not very helpful.
My pleasure. Bullseye.
Okay.
What do you need?
Very nice. Flank.
What can I do you for?
Flank mostly increase your hit chance. Oh, I missed the Blessed Harvest. That sucks.
Four cap. Only takes a finger to blow her away.
Young Drake still doesn't really have any plans, it looks like.
Hey there.
When an entire day passes when you're at sea or something, does that count as having rested, or do you have to also trigger a rest?
Of course.
Yes?
I think you can see it here too, right? That was slash. Missile spell is bludgeoning, I think.
Ahoy.
A spell that's basically magic missile.
Zoom.
Happy to oblige.
Something I can do?
Here we go.
Hey, we had some good times.
Yeah. That looks like it hurt.
Aye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What for, Cap? Only takes a finger to blow her away.
Something
This
I can do?
name.
Take that.
How may I help?
Embarrassing.
Grab and immobilize, huh?
Right here. Absolutely.
It's just out of range to be able to reach. That sucks.
Yeah.
Something I can do?
May I be a candle in the night?
Hooray! Everyone levels up. Wonderful. Oh, there's a doggo here. Frostseeker. I don't currently have any characters that use bows, right? What's a dank spore doing? The bow. Trixie. Holy shit. Okay. Party-wide effect is okay, but that's a pretty significant... I guess, well, it matters a lot of the time. The bow. Because none of them have specialized very far. Alternate attack modes for side grades, okay. But I wouldn't want it on Seraphim because he benefits from AoE damage because that gives him more cipher points or whatever. I'm trying to think who it would be good on then. She wouldn't have her lantern. He's got a custom. I guess I'll have custom weapons, don't they? I'm the only one who doesn't. I don't think I took any proficiencies, did I? Yeah, I was going to do a corpse eating barbarian who uses a rapier, but I don't think I've found one yet. Equal gun is probably better. Okay. I guess I'll try the bow on the main character here. Big of a penalty is losing the shield. That's fine. Okay, and now to spend 20 minutes leveling everyone up. Get big head mode back. Yeah, right. Like a witch doctor. Okay, active skills. We want to start doing stealth, passive, coming for intimidate, barbaric roar. Okay, so now I'm basically getting two different choices that evolve an existing skill, right? And these are mutually exclusive. Knock foes down. Barbarian receives bonus engagements. This makes it an AoE around you. Frenzy, strong and fit, action speed. Critical hits bleed targets. Oh, it would have to be critical though. Attacks can stagger foes. Robust inspiration. That's kind of nice. It's a free action. I guess the problem is the cost in rage. Like, my main way of building rage right now is to eat corpses. And I already have a lot of things that are competing for it. So I feel like it's smarter for me to take the thing that I'm already using every combat. The stagger is probably a nicer upgrade. While hurt or better, the barbarian gains resistance against body afflictions. When they say hurt or better, do they really mean hurt or worse, or they just mean when you're above 50% health? Above 50%, okay. Like Spirit Frenzy. Oh, I get 2 abilities. Oh, shit. In that case... So this is pretty cheap. What does it mean to have bonus engagements? Oh, it increases the number of creatures that are allowed to be engaged with you. Okay. This is a line instead of a cone, basically, and it knocks foes down. Because that could be good for locking enemies down for the purposes of setting up like a fireball or something with Aloth. I don't really have easy access AoE crowd control right now, and it's only costs 1. Take that. This is one of them easier levels, okay. User, get more points in mechanics. And insight, because why not? Ooh, new cipher abilities. Increase maximum and starting focus. So you start with 10 more, so that means you can do something earlier in every combat. It seems like that's pretty good. This game's combat system seems to be a lot of, like, at least when you're playing it on turn-based mode, like, Alpha Strike focused. Do as much as you possibly can in the first round. 40 focus. Drains a portion of their armor rating. As an ally with a mental block. Just basically, like, read that robust inspiration basically means regen and defense up. Applies a random low-tier affliction to the enemy. And the inverted inspiration to the cipher, okay. Stuns the target and deals raw damage, interrupting all nearby enemies. That seems pretty good, once I don't have a passive that I'm interested in. Robust is a strong regen. These both cost 40. This is a line and this is a cone. It specifically targets enemies, which is nice. It targets everything. Oh, I get 2 still. Okay, well, we'll take greater focus then. Looks good. Aloth, what you doing? Arcana. I forget who my main perception character was. Concussive missiles. Okay. I like these missile spells because they're basically instant cast. Increased penetration with acid attacks, so that would be cool if I actually had taken acid. Oh, I see. For different kinds of elements. Fire, electricity, ice. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like a old, I don't know if this is still in D&D, but like, there's a bunch of feats you could take to fuck with spells that would affect their spell level. Iron Skin, lasts for 10 attacks. Grimoire Imprint gives the caster access to 1 free spell from the target's spell list. Well, that's pretty flavorful. Trio of powerful tentacles that can't move. Inflict crush and corrode damage and immobilize anyone they hit. How long do they last? 2 rounds. Okay. Vault Flame. Essential Phantom. So I could have used that for this encounter that I just got into that learned a decoy. Arcane Reflection. Dimensional Shifts. Switch the locations of the caster and an ally, leaving a shockwave that stuns enemies. Summon a black sphere that draws all nearby characters toward it. That sounds great. I guess the problem is it's all nearby characters, not all nearby enemies, right? And it lasts a couple rounds. So maybe I don't want that. Yeah, how exactly does confusion work? Oh, I see. Flame Shield. So again, I don't want to take any spells that are just in his spellbook, right? If I want to keep using that spellbook, it wouldn't help me very much. Alright, well, the missile spells pretty much always seem worth taking. I might want these writhing tentacles as well. It says anyone they hit, but I assume that only targets enemies, the writhing tentacles. In case you want to switch books later. Yeah. Let's see. Religion. alchemy. Efficient Anguish. Powerful attack that knocks the target back a significant distance, prones them. I've really been using Flurry too much. Or Swift Strikes, whatever you want to call it, game. You do you. Lightning fast hand movements redirect incoming melee attacks. Stunning seems pretty good. Increases his specific defense. Calls upon the power of the monk's psyche, reflecting half of ranged missiles targeting only the monk back to the point of origin. It's flavorful, but concentration at the start of combat. It's okay. Dance of Death. It's a nice little AoE. I guess it costs wounds. Eventually upgrades into a stun. That could be pretty nice. Oh, I like reducing the wound cost to activate. Although knockback hasn't been amazing so far. I think more AoE is probably good. Okay, and I also get a priest ability. Vile Thorns. These are all boring, generic upgrades. Yeah, I wish the passive abilities had a unique icon if it was like a class-specific thing and not like increases will, right? Despondent Blows. Nagging doubt in the face of breaking faith. Consumes enemies in the area of effect, lowering their melee accuracy. Marks a target for retribution. More healing is probably good. It's not a huge heal per round. How long does it last? 3 rounds? Blesses allies. Releasing a healing effect when they're near death. So it's just like a permanent shield, like a free heal. I guess they have to not go from bloodied to dead in order for that to trigger. Creates a seal that explodes in a burst of electrical energy when an enemy comes into contact with it. For instant ally, the Smart Inspiration for an extended duration. Sickening anyone in the area of effects. I think I need more healing. Okie dokie. And 8. You could argue for a bigger party buff by getting more points into mechanics. I do like the party buff to skills, it's clever. It's gonna have him have a less bad survival stat, so we get another skill check like that. Discipline strikes. I don't think I've been using that at all. Gives you the aware inspiration. Interesting. Also gains the acute inspiration. Intuitive. 25% hit to crit. Wow, that's actually kind of a big deal. I use this knockdown all the time. So I'll probably take that one. Fighter strikes their target with devastating force, gaining significant additional penetration during the attack. Oh, I need this one, I think. Increases the amount of health regenerated. 14 health per round for 7 rounds. Wait, so I'm confused. This is a passive, but it has a limited number of uses per encounter. Does that mean that it just activates at the start and only lasts for 7 rounds and then doesn't come back, basically? Take this next level. Okay. It's not something that I have to turn on, though. Enemies also bleed when moving, taking raw damage with each step. It's now also distract the target. What's distract mean? Oh, here we go, distracted. Smoke veil. Gouging strike. Gouge enemies, causing raw damage over time until combat ends. While blinded, all attacks on the target add a stacking penalty to deflection. That makes it easier to hit, right? Does more damage the more health they're missing, so it's kind of like a Blessed Harvest, but for him. Probably take that one. Strikes their target violently in the head, interrupting them. Let's see what the options are here. Rogue looks for openings to counterattack in combat. Incoming melee attacks that target deflect and miss have a chance of allowing an instant full attack riposte. What's the chance, though? Like, if it's 100% whenever someone misses, it might be good. If it's 10%, no thank you. Do finishing blow. Alright. Save after all that. Shoti has something to say. You feeling okay? Her eyes are hazy and far off.
It's nothing but awakened terror. Soon to pass.
You may want to aim away from our watcher there if it's going to pass out of your mouth. Sorry. I know you're going through something.
Fuck wrote this game? Is it Aaron Sorkin? Everyone's so quippy. I love it. It's great.
You could call it something, all right.
Want to talk about it?
Now, there's no need for that. Unless you see those shambling corpses too?
Hair on the back of your neck stands on end. Glance around just to be safe. There's nothing to be seen, even in the direction Shoti's staring. What do you see?
I see a body of stitched together parts and flayed flesh. It's got 3 heads and 4 stretched limbs. On each of its heads curves 3 white horns from above 3 blind eyes.
Some Ezekiel shit.
The beast is big as a mountain, and shambling toward us beneath a sun turned black as slow. I know it ain't really there. Lately, it's been getting worse. Some nights I wake sweaty and shaking. Other times, I'm already awake. I got my eyes wide open, staring down the darkness, watching one lantern after another flickering out. And every soul looks so ripe, darn near rotten with a need for reaping.
Relight the lanterns of hell, given enough time. All is not lost. Embrace the harvest, the darkness of the fall. What does that mean?
Dark days are coming for Kithkind. When the last light of hell burns out, the final harvest will be upon us.
That's a normal thing to say.
I think we might all die out.
Yeah, I know, right? Can I send you to our collapse?
But does Gon want me to stop it? Or to help?
Or at least collapse support. We can relight the lanterns of hell given time. All is not lost.
I sure hope you're right, Watcher. 'Cause if you're wrong... No. I know you're right. Gon's chosen me. So until I figure out what's needed of me, I'll do my darndest to help you on your path. We'll figure this out together.
Is there anything we can do to alleviate your nightmares?
Carrying more souls than I've ever shepherded before. So I don't know that it'll work this time, but used to be. When the dreams were riding me hard, I'd cleanse my soul before Gon. If we stop by the temple in Nekataka, I can perform the ritual. Please, I need the relief. It won't take more than a minute under Gon's statue, that's all.
Did that trigger based on me using her lantern to reap things a bunch of times? Gotcha. So there's some like dialogue quest triggers based on their opinion of you based on things that happen in conversations, reputation or whatever. There's some that trigger based on like an invisible counter for each character, I guess. I don't think everyone has a thing that's equivalent to Shoti's. Let's go do her Nikataka thing real quick, if we can find it. Collecting souls is a new explicit objective for her quest. Journal. So not every character necessarily has party member quests that have a unique effect like Shoti's. Xoti, Xoti. Temple of Gon. No idea where that is. Oh, this is the north exit, so this might actually let me go somewhere different. Huh. Oh, because it's too far? Okay, I think I'm getting the map system. Most of the other towns have been so small that this hasn't mattered. Periki's Overlook. Seems just a big critical role racket. Enjoy your visit. Thank you.
I don't be supposing we kid swagged and sparkling, Captain.
I'll see what happens.
Excuse me.
You must gather your party before
Why,
venturing
hello.
forth.
Could Steely at your service.
It's Teely, okay.
I can tell that you're new to the Deadfire. Maybe you're still getting your bearings? Some of my herbs can help with seasickness or worse afflictions.
I think the world builders for this game had a ton of fun. Like, they almost are going at it from like, okay, what's the stereotype? Completely invert it. Do the opposite of that. Or they do lots of really fun mixing and matching. Like, oh, it's a bunch of people that have Incan-sounding names, but they talk like they're from Texas? Show me what you have for sale. Apothecary's gloves. +2 alchemy. God, I need more money.
I heard you and Isilmir again. I do wish you would stop encouraging her. Real sorry, Aloth. We'll keep it down. You think I care about your childish jokes? What bothers me is how she dog-ears my grimoire. And you keep bringing her out.
Just lighten the mood, I guess.
So, remind me, is Aloth's condition a common one at all? Or is he basically unique among characters? And does he completely change identity, like in the movie Split, whenever he switches between Aloth and Isilmir? Are they like two different personalities entirely, or just something that he occasionally slips into for a couple seconds? Not unique, but not common. Okay.
This is why wizards get a bad reputation.
And it's like a soul problem, right?
I got nowhere else to turn. Stonehill is going to kill me.
Don't drag me into your mess, Bertenno. Not again.
Then you leave me no choice. I'm sorry.
Hey, come back with that. Medico! That flaccid pazzo.
It's a Revelian term for the penis, in a pejorative sense.
Imp, you had none of that, huh? That's what I thought. What am I going to do? Think, Fassina.
Can I see your wares? What was that all about?
Postenago of a lover stole Rokawa's fingers. The master will kill me if I don't get them back.
Second, I got a protest text here.
Fast coin. Arkemyr will flay me alive over those damned gloves.
It's a 20 this stream, and then 24 the next one's the one after that. Souls reincarnate constantly, essentially sharing your soul with all your past lives. Certain events, often dramatic ones, can cause the presence of old lives to resurface and inhabit your head. My character's case, it was literally killing me. Strange the constructs didn't attack him for stealing.
Is it strange? I don't know. Go consult Arkemyr's grimoire if you're that curious.
Mage worldwide renown. We've heard about him before with some of his, like his name is in some of the spells in the game. Why are these gloves so important?
You do not know Arkemyr, do you? He is as cheap as a Wodican clerk. Whatever he loses from those gloves, he will take out on me. Somehow.
What aren't you telling me?
Not that it's any of your business, but Bertenno used to spend a lot of late nights here.
Coughs into her fist and avoids eye contact.
I got into the construct's guts and marked off Bertenno as a safe visitor so they would not attack him. And before you ask, no, I will never do this again.
Why does he need the money?
He said that he's in debt to a Rautayan captain by the name of Hamuto Stonehill. By all accounts, a deadly serious man.
Do you know if I happen to find them?
Considering this is not your problem. I do not know where Bertenno fences his goods, but he mentioned an appointment at the Bra Citadel docks. Hamuto Stonehill must be as dangerous as he sounds. or else Berten wouldn't be so panicked.
It's a good thing all these quests get added to my journal. Show me your items. That is an expensive book. Now, why would a grimoire be more expensive? It says it can't have more spells in it, right? Like it only is going to have 2 spells in each slot no matter what. Spine. Oh, they can have unique spells. Interesting. There's no way to know just from looking at it that it has one, though, right? One of them's unique. That's cool. Equalizing burst. Oh, that's cool. Bunch of afflictions. Scrolls are universally one-use consumable spells in this. They don't, like, teach you things, right? Sasha singing scimitar. Oh yeah, I think I was a chanter in the first game. Medium shield. Martial master use. Basically bad breath, yeah. Look for the spell with the same name as the grimoire. Like Lingrath's Safeguard. Because there's a couple with their name here. Reflection. Superior Elemental Bulwark. Spine of Thicket Green. Quarterstaff. Increased reach. Spellkeeper. Plus defense against spells. Archmage you can fight in one of the PoE 1 DLCs. How powerful are the Archmages compared to, like, the gods? I get the sense they're not that big of a deal, but... +1 Constitution. Resistance, Dexterity, Afflictions. Ring of Focus Flames, +10 accuracy with fire attacks. Ooh. It's, might actually be pretty good for Aloth. I think he has a ring equipped right now. Oh, I see. I'm like, why isn't it showing up?
I shall put it to good use.
Fortune for a pun, good sir? They'll never know I'm here.
Will my eyes be open?
Definitely not going to be stealing anything here, I don't think. They're mortals. Lingrath has 2 pet dragons that could hop bodies. Other Archmage turned himself into a Lich. Okay. So an epic level threat, but not like on the level of a god.
I don't be sposing wicked.
Trap detected. Thank
Up.
you, Insta-trap.
I don't be sposing wicked. Blow it up. Easy breezy, wet.
Trollhide belt, +1 HP restored per round. That's pretty good. Who has belt space? Sweet.
I got this.
Vecina's journal. Arkemyr saves only the most tedious errands for me.
I got this.
The window overlooks the streets of Periki's Overlook. It overlooks the Overlook. The right tool and a practiced throwing arm can make closing the gap a manageable feat. Still have my twisted ankle. It seems not worth it, but let's try it. Success! Climb across to the manor.
Consider it done.
Eggfish. Oh, that's not good.
So, Cap,
How may I help?
Combat already started. Okay. This is gonna end badly.
Yeah?
She just gets Vial Thorns automatically. I didn't realize that. Alright. Spirit Frenzy. I should make sure that, like, barbarian stuff doesn't depend on melee weapons.
Here we go.
That doesn't look great. Oh, I hit my own party member. Good if I had AoE right now.
Right here.
It's AoE that I don't really need. I don't think having a ranged weapon is really a problem. I'm just doing garbage damage with it right now. But I can't tell if it's because this enemy is particularly strong. That's more likely what's going on, I assume.
Something I can do?
What can I do you for?
What can I do for you?
Son of a cur!
Interrupted my spell.
Yeah?
Rude.
My pleasure. How may I help? Yeah? This thing isn't doing the job.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to load this here. A little concerned about this thing being way too strong for me. Oh, that hit a little bit harder. Alright, hold it.
My fingers be fat and furry, but they're ever swagged and sparkling, Cap.
Back you. Study the distance, rope and grappling hook, main character, success. Climb across. Don't fuck with the...
Give me a real challenge.
Sure, there are more of those constructs around. See if I can loot the place a bit without having to fight any of them, though.
Oh, this isn't how I usually work.
The main character still has boots of stealth. Oh no, I moved him to somebody else. Stride.
Could lick crystal until tongue fall off.
Consider it done.
Yellow-eyed 3, or yellow-eyed 3, excuse me. Lets out a piercing shrieking, clutches the gem protectively close to his body.
What you do here? My pit groundwalk filth. What you do here, huh? Why you trouble Yellow-Eye 3?
These are pretty high stats. Oh, he moves to attack. Well, takeable. I'm guessing I wasn't getting a party buff there because they were too far away from me. So if you do the level scaling thing, does that make skill checks scale as well?
Sure.
Interesting. I'll go back to the dagger for now. Try giving him the bow, even though it's single target. Hey, thank you, Kami. I appreciate it. Good time to have been an affiliate. I feel like they released that so recently.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
We're at 5.5 years this month of streaming in general.
Nice and quiet.
Yikes.
Butler on second floor lounge trying to eat it again. Master will be displeased.
Oh god. Hide, run away. Not that way.
Intruder! Ground meat in the master's sanctum! Ski! Ski!
Nope. Oh no, intimidate so close. Can I do anything to pull it off, I wonder?
How may I help?
So it tells me it's worth continuing to dump points into that, because sometimes you can get some exciting options with it. So if I had anything that affected Intimidate, it would show up on here, right? Just want to see like how good this is at searching. It won't show Dexterity, and I know I've got an item that affects that. Yeah. Actually, I don't know what search. Search is only looking for the name of the item. It's unfortunate. I do. % of misses converted to grazes. What's armor rating? Wait, wouldn't you, is more initiative bad? Oh yeah, okay, more initiative is bad. Got it. So it gives her a bonus against specific kinds of damage. Whoa, that's not what I meant at all. It's fine for now. I don't think I can get my Intimidate up by anymore. Device is a complex control panel made of gems set in movable stone impressions. 4 colorful gemstones are positioned around a hole in the center. Something appears to be missing, though an expert tinkerer might be able to compensate for it. Examine the gemstones. Examine the absence in the center. Have someone tinker with the panel. It's really not going to be enough. Oh, success. Nice. Rotate the gems to experiment with various positions. Let's not experiment, shall we?
Butler on second floor lounge trying to eat it again.
Just need something more.
Master will be displeased.
Alright, so he was able to mess with it, but he can't get through the door? Or do you make it so that we just need to know what the combination is, I wonder? Walls look recently repaired. Many of the stones are new or cut to fit in the older structure around it. Chisel away at the mortar. Sets off an alarm. Well, that's not good. We want to step back the alarm. I don't know if that's something that I would have been able to detect. It's just an alternate way to get into the manor. I get that the manor is a end-game or late-game area, but I'm just trying to see if I can get any like sick loot early by sneaking around. I think that that's fun to do stuff you're not supposed to do. Disable the alarm system, perception 14. I see. Success. We're in Chisel. Okay, so I should always examine whenever there's a plot event like that. Good to know. Will that consume my hammer and chisel? Tells you it would, okay. It showed me that it was going to use it. I don't think I caught that it was definitely consume it. Wouldn't give for a roasted newt. No. Oh, cool. It's got a water elemental. Enjoy the baths, but cause no trouble.
The cost of enjoying the bathhouse's unique offering is 1,000 copper per session.
Why so much?
A prudent question. The bathwaters are infused with hand-refined luminous adra, which promotes a holistic balance of the humors.
Sure it does.
Because of luminous adra's remarkable qualities, it is also a significant investment to both supply and maintain. Ganor may tell you more if you're curious. He is something of an amateur alchemist, in addition to being a businessman of remarkable skill and insight.
Next you'll tell me Luminous Adra grants them their eternal life.
Would that it were so. Ganor would make good money, and perhaps I would receive a raise, yes?
When have you ever known men such as Ganor to share their spoils?
You, I like. We see eye to eye on many things, I suspect. A small discount for you, friend, for making me laugh. 900 copper.
Pretty good deal. Amreo.
Is this your first time to the baths?
Have not been in the water yet.
The cost is high, but so are the delights. I might have the skin and bones of a retired scarecrow, but the waters bring youth back, where it counts.
Man or dwarf? Nope, you can stop right there. I should go right now. I have to go. Should go.
I hope we haven't spent too much time in the baths.
It's fine. I don't work here.
My thanks for clearing that up.
In any case, we hope you enjoy your time.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm good. Bye. What
I am
brings you to the
helping Arkemyr
bathhouse?
to conceive. She came all the way from the Deerwood, and I will see that she returns with arms laden with young.
After the Hollowborn crisis, I wanted no child of mine born in those blighted lands. This place is a miracle. Every day I emerge from the baths as a new woman, and my first child will be as strong as an Adra.
That's the metaphysics response. I don't think that's a guaranteed result.
That true?
Do not listen. Luminous Adra is the life of the Deadfire. It can bring life to you, I say.
Dismisses me with a look. Taru warriors.
Inside the bathing pool? Kira, its waters allow you to absorb the powers of the dead.
You're too morbid, my friend. The Adra Ganor uses has been blessed.
Hey, Ganor. I don't think I recognize this guy's race.
Welcome, I am Ganor, owner and proprietor of the Luminous Bathhouse.
Barbarian.
My guards will not hesitate to expel any rowdy or obnoxious individuals. Mind your manners, and you will find no quarrel with me. Your exchange with Amreo was observed. Such behavior is my responsibility. I've tripled his rates until he learns to conduct himself.
That's rude. What do you have for sale? It's super expensive. See if I can explore more inside the Archmage's manor. I really like that there's all these different ways to get into places. They put a lot of work into that. Yeah, I noticed that.
I'll see what I can find.
I don't be supposing we could, swapped in sparkling, cat.
Locked. Tell me there's no enemies in here, though.
Give me a real job.
This is what we come here for. Two-handed Morning Star. 3 corrode damage per 2 rounds for 10 rounds on hit. Plus 8 accuracy. Fuck yeah, let's give that to main character for now.
I got this.
Scroll of minor healing. Oh, shitload of books. That seems bad. Let's not go in there. Skin tingles as you approach the scrying pool. Your reflection grins up at you from the depths. Of course he's got a giant morning star in his office. Seems like the kind of thing you just throw in a drawer downstairs.
Isn't this something?
Ooh, a secret.
Give me a real challenge.
It's not that exciting. Breaking into a high-level area before you're supposed to feels pretty satisfying, I gotta say. Even if the main thing I walk out of here with is just that mace, it would be cool. Uh-oh.
Intruder! Ground meat in the Master's sanctum! Scream!
Oops. Let's open that door down there, I think.
Consider it done.
Oh god, get out! Go! Oh god!
Intruder! Ground meat in the Master's sanctum!
Ground meat, blah 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 blah. Let's get out of here, it'll be fine. This is fine. I think I've basically tapped out what I'm able to explore in the basement without triggering any aggro. So you hear that door open and close, we can go. There's a couple of them out here now, yikes. Get up the stairs, get out of here. Alright, I think we're safe once we're up here. See what other areas I can explore here without triggering aggro.
I got this. I got this.
Probably nothing on this floor.
Nice and quiet.
Alright, that's as good as we're going to get here for now. I think there's another room I could go into on the roof here. But that the construct over to the right doesn't aggro us when we step outside. This is probably a bad idea. There's probably a construct down here somewhere.
Watch and learn.
Is there any way to like split the party and just only send your stealthiest person through into here? If you select only them, they can travel even off into other maps by themselves.
Yeah.
Like I've done this before, obviously, but
My fingers be fat and furry.
okay.
They're easy breezy, wet.
And you have to have the whole party together. 15 deflection against disengagement attacks. What's with haste? Is that a inspiration or something? I swear I just got some boots that maybe I didn't actually loot them? Okay. Sorry, I must be confused. Hold on. So it says, with haste, 25% stride. Is that just the name of the ability? I thought it meant this thing only happens when you have a haste effect on. Okay. Just a flavorful name. Stride boost.
I don't be supposing we could blow it up. Swapped in sparkling, Cap.
Trap triggered.
You'd be like us not to break the prat down if you keep pushing us, Cap.
So if I suspect that there's a trap and it isn't auto-detected, does it just mean I don't have enough perception and there's no way I could ever detect it, short of like casting a buff that increases perception? Whether I know it's there or not, or I suspect it's there or not. Okay. Let's see.
What do you need?
I think I can use... Oh, this is combat only, so I can't use that to just get a perception boost. These putty, maybe? I have the one. Because it's mechanics. Let's see. I wish this searched the text of the items too, in addition to just the item names. Could look at potions, I guess. So like the only way I'm going to ever use any of these is if I have a way to search for what they do. Reflex, might, dexterity. Athletics. Hey, there's some ripple sponge. Just gotta figure out who has the best perception in the party. Is perception strictly stack, or is it looking for the person in your party who's the best at it? It's Aloth. Okay.
Yes?
See if this ends up being worth doing. Trap detected. That does it. Okay.
That's unusual.
Yeah, I thought about doing that. Perception. Because that got me another secret back here, so that's cool. Ring of Overseeing. Plus 10% area of effect.
Nightcap.
Arkemyr's old robe. Huh. No enchantment but the ravages of time. Frequent use is worn at the hem and light burns have discolored the fabric. Lovingly patched and summoned to working order. Arkemyr's monogram stands out in crisp clarity, making no question who's meant to wear the robes and who is not.
Aye, aye.
Yeah, I usually go for any kind of, in CRPGs, any kind of thing that allows me to interact with more content. So diplomacy is usually a big one, or whatever equivalent skill there is. Yeah. Wonder if putting this on gets you in trouble, right? Doesn't look like anyone gives a shit.
For me?
And Arkemyr got robbed.
My eyes be open.
Remember, I can come back here to break in way later. Oh shit, that's bad. I think I realized these guys patrolled. Well, this isn't gonna go well. Maybe it's only at like daytime versus nighttime.
Folks.
Yes?
Oof. I'll just rest in the previous room. You can only rest in inns in this game or under specific situations.
You must gather. Before venturing forth.
I got this.
I do have a camp button. You can't just like sleep anywhere in a town.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
This is fine. Guessing it's the same guy that was over here. Murder hobos, but not actual hobos.
Right here.
Okay, let's see. Can I? Is this maximum cheese possible? Because it would be funny if it is.
Ahoy.
Watch the thing move as I try to escape here.
How may I help?
Teleporting stealth boots. Yep. This is the ultimate D&D thing though, right? Like, I think that's kind of cool that this is possible. This is the kind of thing where your GM would be like, are you fucking serious?
What can I do you for?
Fine. Say yes. As long as he doesn't turn around as I get past with Ader, right? That would be the worst.
Hmm? I got it.
Oh, did you not pass through when you jump? I thought jump was a loud ability. Noise loud. I'm across. Okay. Got some loot. Got a key item. It's probably going to come up whenever we're actually supposed to go there. So that's what I assume the robe is. Okay, that was fun. Let's go.
You look thirsty. A drink, sir?
How are encounter abilities like the leap handled out of combat?
Yeah?
I guess that's per rest. Never mind. They generally aren't encounter abilities, or they're not usable out of
Quench your
combat.
thirst on the way up the mountain?
Show me what you've got. Grog. Both of them give +1 crew morale.
You
Some-
have no right to interfere in Rawatai's business.
Some point soon I need to upgrade my boat to use more crew members. What happens to crew members when I have too many of them? Are they still available? Do they wait in a town for me to go back and recruit them later?
I don't give two pyres for your tribal pride, and I wager that Arkemyr cares even less.
Every active ability on an item I've seen has been per rest. I think that's fair, as much as I don't like per rest
This
abilities.
is what passes for Rautai in diplomacy. Rauzanui has bigger problems.
If you've come to see Arkemyr, you're too late. He left the estate on wizard business.
Do you like bank them in Nekataka? Okay. What's going on between you two?
Tamar and I wanted something from Arkemyr. Our powers of persuasion leave much to be desired.
The wizard got his hands on a Huana tablet, the Harapo epic. I came to reclaim it for Rawatai. In the middle of my negotiations, this little pest showed up with a claim on it.
The Harapo epic belongs to the Huana. The Queen sent me to remind you both.
An intact primary source is a rare find for the Moana.
Akira,
Power of history.
few outsiders can appreciate what such an artifact could mean to our people.
Posturing about cultural value is worthless. We both want the tablet for the same reason.
Who's Arkemyr? And there's a pop-up that tells you who he is.
A spellcaster, and a damn good one. Specializes in hexes and illusions. He and his apprentice run the Dark Cupboard, a local magic shop.
Did he come to possess the tablet?
I believe that he had dealings with black market treasure hunters. Not that the Queen will implicate him.
She's too preoccupied negotiating with the warmongers at her door.
You already went?
Arkemyr could be drinking Kuiki wine with dead kings. There's no finding him if he doesn't want to be found.
I might
So
as
what's
well
your
adjourn to the
plan?
palace in Serpent's Crown and give Arkemyr time to think.
What a load of... You mean to get your hands on that tablet with or without Arkemyr? You island rats can barely write your own names, much less a distinguished epic.
Scamper back to the Brass Citadel and spin your own plots. I will happily do the same on my side of the island.
Who questions the person who sucks less?
For me, I could use a reprieve. Ah, these are frustrating times we live in. What say?
Any ideas on retrieving the Harapo epic?
There's always Facina, Arkemyr's apprentice. No love lost there if whispers are true. Arkemyr seems to enrage those of his inner circle, not excluding the imps. Akira, I say the relevance of the Harapo epic can't be overstated. It could prove a touchstone for the Huana. It could even... Sorry, you go ahead.
It's a Royal Deadfire company, so I'm interested in this tablet.
They think the tablet can show them, well, the way to Ukaizo.
Mythical land. Wellspring of Huana culture. It vanished. Okay, that's cool.
Akira, It's a mythical island, but that isn't stopping any of us from rushing to claim it first.
Did you know about the epic before it fell into Arkemyr's hands?
Akira, from the Journal of Rakua, an explorer who found the tablet on a remote island some 20 years ago. Unfortunately for Rakua, the most we found of her was her journal among the flotsam of a shipwreck. Akira, the pleasure is mine.
I actually have an idea now.
I don't be supposing we kids walked in sparkling, Captain.
I think we're supposed to go into the front, but let's see what happens. Door actually looks a little bit easier to switch through here.
Suits me, don't you think?
Intruder! Ground meat in the master's sanctum!
Don't you recognize your master by his robes?
Is ground meat Arkemyr? Master gave us a passphrase. You repeat now.
I think these are all just guesses, right? The spice must flow. Okay, so it does work for that, but you have to know the password. So I'm guessing it lets you sneak past the constructs, but maybe not the imps. That's cool though. Keep that in mind for if someone drops the password on me. Unless if it's in one of those, oh my god, I got so many fucking books. Is there ever plot information in the cool lore books? Or if there was, would it just show up in the key items list instead, maybe? Basina's journal. Okay. Well, let me check. It's been repaired. Did that with mechanics. Arkemyr's notes. You recognize my robe. Cider and cheese. Okay. Maybe this can work. I'm guessing you have to read the books. I definitely have it. Because I read it and then I had to reload. Cheese and ale is another way you could guess it, I guess. Yeah, I need to know, I guess.
Intruder! Ground meat in the master's sanctum!
I guess feel free to tell me if I obtain a book that's worth reading, even if it gives something away. Right now I'm under the assumption that most books are just like lore objects. I should probably look to see if they have the name of a character in them. It's probably a clue.
Is ground meat Arkemyr? Master gave us a passphrase. You repeat now.
Cider and cheese.
That passphrase, all right.
I got this.
I'll loot this place blind. Turn it upside down.
Why master need books? Not even taste good.
The efficacy of imps. Tattered note. Ah, combination into the vault. Diamond, ruby, ruby, sapphire, emerald. Dursey.
Watch and learn.
So I guess you could just brute force this place if you came here at a really high level and just basically kill everything, right? Paradise for the depraved. There aren't any alternate planes in this setting. Is there like a multiverse? They just storm through and destroyed everyone. This game definitely comes pretty close to feeling like a playable tabletop game, and at least giving you lots of cool options. This is a build showcase. Watch as my build pulls the entire floor solo. Wow.
Oh, it's just you. You no smell like Arkemyr, but eh.
What do you know about
It's
the
on
vaults?
lowest level, southeast corner, sealed up like dirty secret.
Where'd you get that crystal?
Found lying near vault, kept safe for master. What you want?
I don't need it anymore because I did the skill check. He's got a extra imp that he summons. So to scope out the rest of the basement. Powder and solution. Stormblade.
I got this.
Two-headed skeleton hangs motionless. Come back to that thing in a second. Dumb ironclad. Say something, why don't you? Because the rooms they were in aren't super exciting, it turns out. See in the village. Papers. Purchase order. Receive your order for 2 additional ironclad constructs. Rest assured they'll be delivered within the week. Abaddon. Forge Master, Golems, Machines, Industry. Okay. Need the soul. We'll do that in a second. That one doesn't have a pop-up with the when you hold down tab, so I was a little bit concerned. Been pretty dependent on tab pop-ups for things that are interactable, so I assume this is an unusual one that doesn't have one. Walk through the halls of the manor, the layout's no stranger. Oh. Reach a heavy vault door. The lock is made of gems set into stone. Set the gems into their combination and pray your contract. Got it right. So I wonder if this is another way to learn the combination if you didn't get the note upstairs.
I'll be damned if I let a soul be used for such foul means. Come with me now, you poor lost thing.
Hey, she sucked it into her lantern. Gotta take her to the church later. Hopefully that doesn't become a problem. If I do this quest first, I think it should probably be fine.
Consider it done.
Crafting things. Ink harp. Tons of mushrooms. Okay, I think I've explored every room in here, including the ones that were being guarded.
That looks complicated.
Let's open the vault. Enter the combination you found. This is pretty exciting.
Fancy dinnerware if you're just gonna keep it.
Trap detected, nice. Trap disarm.
Oh?
Call that teamwork.
Oh?
What for, Cap?
I don't think his buff is still up.
Aye?
Oh, maybe it is. Oh no, just the penalty from it, okay. Well, that's not good. That's basically everything that's interactable should have some tab text or tab interaction. Okay.
Oh? Of course. That's unusual.
I feel like you get a really good amount of XP for disabling traps. Compared to like the time it takes for an encounter and the bestiary XP you get.
Of course.
Hey Sergeant, how you doing? Thank you for those.
What for, Cap?
Aye?
Indeed.
I shall be discreet. I'll see what I can do.
Powerful enchantment keeps these gold bars weighted to the spot. Straight up some coins. There's the Harapo epic. That's what we came here for. Very cool.
What for, Cap? Aye. My fur's got more blood in it than my not fur.
Oh, that one didn't show up on the map. It's like the one he wasn't finding earlier. Ivory worm figurine. Figurines are like a quick item? Or do you equip them in a slot somewhere?
Ahoy. I don't be sposing weak.
I really like their wound system as a way to like have your health come all the way back in between combats, but still have something that can happen to you that's strategically going to damage you or affect the next combat, like getting stuck by a trap.
You'd blow it up. Aye.
Quick item per rest summons, okay.
Aye. My fingers be fat and furry, easy breezy, wet.
There was a trap on it.
Please, pray for me.
Alright. Let me try eating another one of those perception cracker things. I might be able to craft more of those. It's too bad I don't just have it maxed. 30 rounds.
I don't be sposing, kid. What this is? Nightcap. Easy breezy, wet.
It's your armor rating against spells.
I don't be easy breezy, wet and sleazy. Ahoy.
Stone of Power.
I don't be sposing with easy breezy, wet.
Perception Cracker is a nice way to say drugs.
I don't be sposing with easy breezy, wet.
Huh. Grimoire. Ninagoth's teachings. So one or more of these Ninagoth spells are unique to this Grimoire. Death Ray. Okay, it says it's the more powerful variant of the common Ray of Fire spell, so that one's probably a unique one. Shadow Flame. Oh. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And I keep all these fire abilities, which I want anyway, so maybe I'll use that one. Oops. It's like Ice Ball. Greater protection. Okay. Loot for days. Frog Helm? Okay. It's like a community joke. Someone's like, we're going to the animal hospital, and Troy's like, and he's like, no. The animals are the patients. He's like, oh, that makes sense. I think I want, let's see, intellect. Cabalist or Kabbalist Gambison. By a junior member of a secretive arcane society. It's better than what he was using before, so... Oh, right, I need to keep this thing equipped for now, though. We're gonna have a bad time.
Ah, matches my eyes.
Can you swap between them in combat? I didn't think that was a thing. All right, thank you people talking outside of the building about Arkemyr's vault. It's like, oh, it makes it seem like this is something I should be able to do now. I guess I'd give you a super high level quest early, but... Death Ray might be unique as well. That's cool. I'm guessing any of the ones that describe themselves as a variant of a known spell are unique. Probably pass this helmet around for the perception boost too. Alright, Archmage's Vault. Omega Palace and Serpent's Crown. I have to go there soon anyway.
Did the Queen summon everyone to the palace?
Akira, I've never seen Aruihi run so fast.
Do you think the Audra Colossus would come here next?
Pray to Tohopa, it does not.
I love that there are... I don't understand what the rules are for animals qualifying for Big Head mode. Ooh, +1 perception, party-wide effect. 5% healing done. Okay, remember I have that. Water Shaper's Guild. Oh, that's cool. Explore here more later. Serpent's Crown. So I gotta do... Got a quest for her. Temple of Gone. And then I had another main quest that was here, Kahanga Palace. Takano's estate, Lady Apara's estate. I might want to finish her little temple quest first, actually. The Brass Citadel, I think, is where the Gone Temple is. I'm going to come back to the Serpent's Crown with the main quest, but...
Worry me, Alof. I'll be letting the lass out to play more.
It isn't you, and I didn't ask.
Could make a right nice excuse to be exploring your... well, everything, I.
You do realize you're not the first ill-mannered Orlin to suggest that?
Fleet Master's Office, Officer's Lounge, Imperial Command, Powder House, Gunsmithy, Gullet. Alright, I must have confused myself. I'm trying to go to the Gone Temple. Sacred Stair. Okay. Thanks. I thought I saw a quest that mentioned the Brass Citadel. I must have been confused. Maybe it said it was north of there or something. Bagran, Barath, Soul Seers. Gone. Oh, thank you, Kami. That's what I was confused by. Temple of Gone. This temple is fresh.
Here's where I do the ritual. Right there under the statue of God.
Is that really you?
Man retains a fox-like aspect around the face. You know, we have a word that means that. It's like, all right, the writers are clearly very talented, and it's like, let's not say Vulpine.
And Adair, you made it out of Gilded Vale for good, then. I'm glad.
A lot more might have made it out if you hadn't left him for dead.
I don't think I recognize this guy. Is he from the very beginning of Pillars 1?
I haven't forgotten. It's why I'm here, Adair.
Do I know you? I'm seeing lots of old faces lately.
Here that comes with the job. You being a watcher, I mean. I've been helping out here with the Dawn Stars, handing out food, mostly, or delivering supplies. Not so different from Gilded Vale, maybe. Took some getting used to, working shoulder to shoulder with Raid Sarens, but it's not so hard as you'd think. Feels like I'm on the right path. Toward a little piece of redemption, maybe?
Yes, everyone's chasing after Aethys these days. There are no true gods to redeem us.
I guess you've changed your mind some since we met.
Shoti puffs out a heated breath.
I never got a sign from Aethys to begin with. There was just you. If it comes down to what we can live with, I'm still in the right place.
Yeah, well, we'll see where you end up in the next life. They can't redeem you, but you'll still be judged.
Under the statue, okay.
Nothing like a homecoming to make a girl remember her roots, even if they are dried up and half dead.
Anti-Aethasians.
Sometimes I wonder if my brethren don't think I got black ichor running in my veins.
Do you? People often fear what they don't understand. I like that as a reply.
Suppose sometimes people do bad things in the name of their gods, but my brethren do more good than bad, and more good than most. Besides,
I kind of like that he's both pro and anti-Aethys.
afraid of you.
You should be. That's reassuring.
Is it? Sakes alive. You shouldn't be so fine to me, Watcher. Makes me think untoward things. Gives me notions I don't need to be getting.
This is the do you want to romance shifty?
Risk straying when I got a duty to gone.
Dutiful. Like Aloth is so like such a simpleton. He's like, did you say duty? I like duty. I'm dutiful. Speaking of gone.
Yeah. Lay it on me.
Why are you gathering souls into your lantern?
I was born to reap souls and lead them to the light.
Oh, how do you know when this pop-up is, like, positive or negative? I always assumed it just meant the character feels this way, so this thing is getting a +1 to it.
Now with Aethys dead, and these dire visions, I think I need to shield them from a hell gone dark. But the more I gather, the more my mind turns to tatters.
But I mean, like, when it pops up and says this happened, do you know if it was a positive or a negative? Or you have to know from their character whether it's affecting them positively or not? The Beyond hasn't gone dark. It's well lit with living Andra.
Not yet, no. But soon. Gone has shown me the common end.
If you didn't collect souls anymore...
That ain't gonna happen. You'd ask me to turn my back on my god?
Remind me again the difference between Gone and Aethys.
Aethys is dead, and gone is the death before life. He's the ripeness before the fall.
It's happy sounding when it goes up. We know Aethys isn't dead.
That lumbering hunk of Audra might claim to be Aethys, but that doesn't matter a whit. He died, so he can't be Aethys anymore. Death changes every soul, even a god's. And if it doesn't, it should. All right. Yeah, I'm ready. I've done this before, but never with such a full lantern. You may want to stand back. The experience can be somewhat intense.
So, where does, like, the natural phenomenon that is the gods and superstition, where does one begin and the other one end? Like, are we to believe that every aspect of every god is real and has supernatural powers in the setting? Or does it vary based on the sect? Like, are there some that, okay, she's got a lantern and it's physically going to do a magic thing when she goes to the statue, so Gone is a real aspect of Aethys. Versus, like, okay, here's someone that thinks that they believe in an aspect of Andra, but it's just like complete bullshit, you know? Light from God's lantern bursts outward in a shower of violet rays. The essence bathes Shoti's bent form, making her jolt upright as a cry escapes her.
Don't know if I feel cleaner, but I feel something. Blessed for sure.
Some of it's deliberately left open to interpretation. Okay. So, like, if you see a supernatural effect, you can assume that it's at least somewhat real.
Let's just hope it lasts. Because my lantern feels as heavy as ever. Full to brimming with essence. Like dark water spilling over my mind. Alright, I'll be right behind you.
I got this. I got this.
We got a lot of pets in this game. Frau Niels. +3 accuracy with melee attacks. How significant is +1 accuracy? Should I be thinking like D20? It's +1 accuracy is a 5% chance to hit. Neutral deflection. Natural magical effects are attributed to the gods. I see. Wood elf.
Jody, I do hope you're not getting into trouble now.
Who, me? No, I wouldn't dream of it.
You're the high priestess of this
You
temple?
swine stink like shit.
These guys are
Guessing
great.
You're not here to worship. Then what can I do for
Doesn't this place get a little damp?
you? No more than anywhere else. There's no sense fighting it. The water sustains our faith, surely as it does these trees.
Looking for someone. She may have been here years back.
We receive followers of the Shining God every day. You might want to speak with Nordegand over there.
Your accuracy minus their defense plus D100 to determine what kind of hit you do. So +3 accuracy isn't it isn't a huge bonus.
She's been here the longest and takes care to know every one of our faith.
Like that's an insane bonus in D20. Okay. Let's go turn in the tablets.
Halt! What is your business at the Brass Citadel?
Stand down and go where I want. Just looking around.
The Watcher. The one who nearly caused a riot in Queensburg.
What are people gonna riot about? Spooky ghosts?
The Grand Secretary at Sura wants to meet you. His office is on the lower level of Imperial Command. Up the stairs. Once you're inside, go downstairs through the room on the right.
Is he in charge around here?
Azanui Karu is the ultimate authority in the Brass Citadel. But she must
Admiral.
endure the sops at the palace. When she returns, I'm sure she will grant you an audience. For now, Atsura Nui speaks with her voice.
I really feel that like this system of having informative tooltips, lore tooltips in the text is great. It lets them use fancy nouns and names for things that it would usually be impossible for people to keep track of.
With sails unfurled and sword held high.
And I usually call back to that common wisdom if you're a dungeon master of, you know, naming your things the way people name things in real life, like the Black Mountains or the Tall Forest, because it's easier for your players to remember. I think that applies in a lot of video games too, but here they're able to do, you know, what sound like other languages, and it works because you can hold tooltip and be like, oh, that's what that means, got it. We need to do a vault. Archmage's vault. Oh no, we wanted to turn it into Girl in Front of the Serpent's Crown. I don't want to be here. Endemited symbols of death.
Supplies! Get your supplies
Oh,
here.
once you've unlocked it, you can just go there? Would you have to exit from the door? Okay. Weird. Thank you. And then it no longer cares what exit you're leaving from once you've unlocked it.
I don't know how you and the Watchers sleep, carrying all those souls around.
Some nights it's the lantern that lulls me to sleep. It pulses like a heart in my hand.
If you find that comforting, then I'm glad for you.
Basically irrelevant. Front of the palace. She should be down here somewhere then, right? There she is. Yo.
You return. What say, friend?
Got you the Harappo. Whoops. It's a mean thing to do.
Akira, you've restored to us a piece of our history.
That's a quest XP, good amount of money.
Thanks you, my friend. We are a step closer to...
A winged leathery figure in the distance draws closer to you.
Hey, you the Watcher?
What's it to you?
Arkemyr, the Great Master, has returned. Invites you to join him at the estate. Says you know where that is.
What's this about?
Master doesn't tell us imps anything.
Tell him I'll be there.
He already knows. Find Master in his study. Don't be late.
Well, that was faster than I anticipated. I had hoped for more time to work with the Queen on her formal apology, but I will have to accelerate our plan. Thank you again, truly. This may be our most meaningful step towards Ukaizo. We just have to pray that Arkemyr doesn't put hexes on his belongings.
All right, I'll say it. The filthy little buggers are growing on me. Anyone else?
Madness. Alright, I still have something to do inside the castle here, but I'm going to go back to Arkemyr because that's interesting to me. Arkemyr's Manor. Go. Metallic construct stares at you blankly. His study's the one that's in the basement. Oh, it's just on the first floor? Okay. It's at that room with all the books in the laboratory area. What's up, dude?
I trust you had no trouble finding the place?
Nekitaka is either a testament to the ancient Huana's love of labyrinths, or their hatred of straight lines.
If I had both of these. History, age, not the Juana, has set the bones of the city at crooked angles.
Sadly, I did not invite you here for a discussion of city planning. Rather than waste our time with pleasantries, let us get to the business of the hour. My estate was recently burgled. My vault breached.
Say nothing.
As I suspected. At the Circle's behest, I'm expected to show restraint in these dealings.
His nails dig into the armrest of his chair.
You manage not to rouse a peep out of my servants. If nothing else, the lack of disruption is appreciated. I am less pleased about the Harappo epic resting in the hands of those who lost it once before.
In the hands of its rightful owners, you mean?
Did I ask a question? The Circle of Archmagi wishes for us to put this unpleasantness in the past with a gesture of good faith.
To steal it back.
The Circle has expressed concerns about a certain mobile deity. The Deadfire is a fragile place, and a blundering soul drain like Aethys can damage more than just castle keeps.
Survival. The Deadfire will be lucky if any of its reefs endure this long walk of his.
Indeed. It isn't our desire that you apprehend the deity. That simply isn't practical. We need your help in preparing for the worst possible outcome.
Normally, the Circle's involvement constitutes the worst possible outcome. Or have you already forgotten the Blackwash Falls incident?
Kalakoth replaced the water. What more do you desire? An apology?
This isn't just restitution. The Circle is worried.
We do not worry. We measure, and the resulting value dictates action. You are only involved because it is advantageous for knowledge of the Circle's involvement to remain discreet. The wizard Bikana installed an observatory due northeast of Nekitaka. For your absolution, the Circle asks that you locate her research.
What are you hoping to learn from the stars?
That the Circle's concerns are utterly unfounded, of course. No doubt you'll recognize the appropriate documents. You have an eye for valuables.
I asked me in Bikarna. So does this play out differently if you just came in here and murdered everything versus sneaking in without annoying them?
She vanished from academic research, and therefore her livelihood.
I'm guessing it just impacts that line of dialogue where he's like, thanks for not killing all my servants.
All signs point to her lab being abandoned. Fair warning. A vessel flying the sigil of the Torn Bannermen set a course for the observatory. I have every reason to believe they travel armed.
Mercenary. Torn Bannermen.
Mercenaries, I suspect. Expensive ones if they take such pains to advertise their standard. My interest begins and ends at a single point. That someone of great means desires abandoned arcane research. Research which we disregarded. Come back alive. Or not at all. Now, if you don't mind, I have a manor to restore. And a security system to reevaluate.
A security system to reevaluate. This one. Alright, let's go progress the main quest. Gotta go head back to the palace. And I'll try to do some main quest progress stuff, but there's a lot of interesting side quests we've got right now. There's just too many things right now. Gotta focus on one thing.
It's not here.
It's not here yet? Okay, thank you. Sorry, we're expecting a Blue Apron box today.
If you come to do business, outsider, you are late. Your people are already inside speaking with the Queen.
Villian Trading Company's in there?
Your Count and the Royal Deadfire Company's Hazanui as well. They are in the throne room. If you should lose your way, follow the shouting.
Thanks, dude.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
So hold on, just so I'm keeping track, Hazanui is the admiral of the Royal Deadfire Company, who are the invaders, the British Empire in this case, the Dutch East India Company, and the person who's sitting on the throne are like the natives of Neketaka? Or is it the other way around?
Command the tides. While you are casting your blame in a wide net, why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
Got
I say our guest forgets himself.
Brother, stand down.
Queen Onikaza.
You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us.
Speaks for the European mercantile interests, okay.
An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen.
What? Did you say something?
Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves. This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
Hold on, I want to read this. Barath is the death goddess that I'm serving in this game. Okay, the twin eel god that represents the cyclic connection between overworld and underworld life and death. Often depicted with two constituent eels, Kahopa, representing the overworld and life, and Tangaloa, who represents the underworld and death, devouring one another by the tail. It's kind of Egyptian-ish. Born before time existed, and each had an insatiable appetite. They began to devour all living things. With each thing devoured, they became larger. When there were no living things left to eat, and the two eels were so enormous as to encompass all existence, they began to devour one another. All things are perpetually passing through the digestive tracts of the two eels. It's actually pretty cool. I feel like Pillars of Eternity has one of the best, pantheons I've seen in fiction. Sorry, what's Hasongo? Take stock of your audience. Nero the Valian projects affluence with his fine garb and gems. Karu the Rawatai and Hazanui stands rigidly. Seems like someone who rarely leaves her back to a door. Fauna Queen is all ease and comfort. Her brother cannot hide a satisfied grin, and the chaos of the hall appeals to him. Come with a warning for the
How
queen.
quaint of you to point this out in a room of warmongers and conspirators. You have the ear of the throne. Speak on, then.
Uck, I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Birth.
Yeah, some bunch of ghosts.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
Mahe suffered similar damage when Aethys passed through. Must do something before Aethys travels yet another settlement.
Huh. What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawnstar Dreamers.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
How came a Watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court.
Yeah, Aethys emerging from beneath the Cadnua is that something that's optional in the original game, or is that something that's in the DLC in the original game? I'm sorry. Him being in Cadnua, or the statue being significant, was that something that I had to encounter in the first game, or is it something that was optional, or was it part of the DLC? I know he got up and left like right at the beginning of this one. Part of the optional mega dungeon. I think that's what I'm remembering.
Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain. A fisherman with poor eyesight could do this.
Was it a statue of? Aethys just possessed it for reasons yet unknown.
My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire?
On using Adra pillars to track and ultimately confront Aethys.
How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy. I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hasongo.
Hey, clear way
To the
forward.
west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Only that Hasongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Ma'am?
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer.
So she'd be a
If it
ship
comes
crew
your
member?
way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
Ak, perfito. Do you mean to stop Eothas by
Perfect.
shooting him? Seri Pelagina will go with the Watcher. Show him how the Republics handle things.
Your Excellency, Palagina Messerai has been banished? She has been seen in Queen's Berth. I can have her report to headquarters.
You should feel no obligation to take on additional crew. The choice is yours.
Need to have a rifle on it.
Say the word and I'll shoot the tip off a green boy's nose.
You are making a mistake, Watcher. In times like these, trustworthy allies are the most valuable asset of all.
Calm down, Nero. I'm sure you'll get one of your spies in place eventually. In the meantime, Watcher, I hope you'll meet me in the Brass Citadel. There's more for us to discuss among friendlier company.
I believe we are finished here. Are we? Aren't we popular? Take care at Hasongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys blundered in.
When it's in italics like that, is she like speaking to me telepathically or something?
Your allies will use you toward any end. Do not give your trust lightly.
Okay.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else. Let's...
Oh, she's an actual party member. Okay. But I can only have 5 people in my party, right? Geomancer.
While we have the chance.
See, I don't think they're going to fit another portrait down there. Unless if they shrunk all of them. Bench party members get experience, so that's cool. Okay, so ships are expensive. Got it. We're not upgrading it for a while. They've got pending level ups, okay. What, is there... I think how to word this question. Is there an advantage then to having the same party members with you the whole time? I guess maybe they get more story beats because they're present for more things and can accrue reputation bonuses. Other than that, there's no reason to not just swap out whenever you feel like it. Quests have a recommended companion. Oh, okay. I always run into a problem with games like this where I end up using the first few party members that join me just because they get ahead of the other characters so much. They have extra dialogue there, that's cool. What I might do is swap people out once they finish their side quest. If it ends up making sense later. Rice, palmstone, tarloaf. How's song go? Early summer. Well, this doesn't look good. Morale +5. Rum is +3.
I don't get this at all. There was a Dawnstar settlement on Isongo. The place got trampled just the same.
I would hear it from him before passing
Wouldn't
judgments.
mind if he stopped walking for a minute. Let us know what he's up to. I'll tell you one thing. When we catch up to that unstoppable god statue, me and him are gonna have words.
Naga warriors. Oh shit, I didn't realize everyone got levels up again. I must have got a ton of XP. Okay. Do that before I get into a fight, I guess. Additional defense against disengagement. Reflex defense up. Some hits to crits. 20% of hits. It's like you can't. For me, it's really rough whenever you stack two conditionals like that. Like the enemy has to be near death, and then there's a 20% chance, right? What is Wilder? Keep this available in case combat goes south at some point. Faye? Okay. And these weapon proficiencies aren't particularly exciting, it seems like. They're okay. There is no penalty for using a weapon without the corresponding proficiency. Only lose access to the associated. I feel like they had a cool idea here with proficiency, but bumped into mechanics, insights. Fractured Volition. I might actually want another cheap ability since these are all super expensive now. Strong and insightful. Combat only, okay. You have to ignore weapons you aren't proficient in. Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense from an iterative perspective that they're just like weapon proficiency kind of sucks. It's not really fun. It's kind of a tax that you have to pay. Then they're like, well, shit, we don't want to give you an ability that's too powerful, because if it's too powerful, then you'll feel like the proficiency is mandatory. And then it's just underwhelming enough that who cares? Penetration. That seems like that's pretty good. So help me to understand the math of this game. Increasing the penetration of weapons means that I tend to do more damage when I have to physically attack with the Cypher, which means that I tend to accrue more MP, Cypher points, or whatever, whenever I attack. Is that an accurate understanding of that? Fighters get a couple passives that affect proficient weapons. I guess that makes sense for fighters. Okay. And +1 penetration seems like it's pretty significant. Full penetration. We show it. Give him the bow, right? Oh, I think it's a war bow. I need to actually check his character to see. Oh my. Being under penetration is a huge damage loss. Okay. Fauna, just basically never coming up. Metaphysics. Take now. I feel like with the way grimoires work, like it's almost better to take passives, but most of these passives are kind of boring. Okay, so hold on. If I understand this right, if you start combat with concentration, you basically have one concentration point, and it will allow you to ignore the first time you get interrupted, and then it goes away. But you have that point for the entire combat until some effect would have caused you to be interrupted, right? That actually seems pretty decent then. I guess they make you pay a feat for it, but it could be worse. Oh, geez, I don't care. Just wand. The proficient weapon options are a stance that you turn on. It's just a free action to switch between them. Defense buffs are good despite it being boring. Okay. Alchemy. At what point is the number of points you have in a skill excessive? Like, I think I've seen skill checks that go up to like 12, but I don't think I've seen anything higher than that yet. Monk ability. Problem here is that wounds are competing. I'd rather, if I have to spend wounds, I'd rather spend them on this. Anything else here that uses mortification instead of wounds? Suffering any damage ends this effect. I guess you turn that on while she's hanging out in the back. When she's burning through her priest abilities. 17 is the highest in the game. Okay. Try to keep that in mind. Highest skill check in the game. Getting wounds at a faster rate seems like it could be good. I don't think I have anything that uses mortification right now. Oh, I guess Swift Strikes does. Totally not Flurry of Blows. Deal shock damage. Oh, I don't care about critical hits. That might be important. I think I'm going to take this actually. I need to have more damage types for enemies like those constructs, so I'm not just in trouble when something like that happens. She already has the mace option. Should Probably always have her lantern. Just do more one-handed things, I guess. $24 in the DLC, wow. Oh, Shoti's weapon scales off of skill checks? Really? Increases with religion skill. Yikes. So I heard using Blessed Harvest is going to be pretty nuts. How do you upgrade your weapons? Enchant? Okay. Took their region upgrade last time. I was going to take a mule kick because I already do the knockdown all the time. What are these upgrades? Ooh, lowers their armor rating. So that you're encouraged to keep using them since it's special to that character. I think I might remember that from episode 1, but I don't think I had the ability to do any of those upgrades. Oh, any yellow item counts as having one? Hold on, I'm struggling here. Plus in the top left corner. Okay, so this is from among all of my stuff, I guess. And what's allowing me to upgrade it? Oh. So the money is going to be the problem most of the time. 15,000 to get to tier 3, it looks like. These upgrades are less bad, or less expensive. Okay. Finality. Urgent Harvest. Increases with religion skill. Being near a killed enemy grants the wielder attack speed. I like that it's killed enemy and not corpse. That's missing a large fang. I think the Saint's War Armor is what Ader's wearing right now. Less crush damage, less slash damage. %, chance to reflect against punishment, condemnation attacks. Frostseeker used to break the game. It was like a specific upgrade that was so good. Hostile effect duration down. Beneficial effect duration up. Reflect against spells. I guess, what does 10% beneficial effect duration even mean when most durations are like in rounds, like in like fewer than 10 rounds? Will it always give you a minimum of like +1 extra round? Maybe that works differently if you're playing in turn-based mode. Won't do much in turn-based. Okay. Headed to the lighthouse. Flame, Shadow Flame, Concussive Missiles.
That looks like he was headed to that lighthouse in the western end.
What do you need?
I think I got it off before combat started. Yeah.
Of course.
Nice.
Yeah. I hear you.
Well, I guess I never actually rested. I'll do that here in a second.
What do you need?
All right, got in range. Is it? Unless it's a 10-round effect, a 10% duration buff would do nothing, but that would be dumb. Yeah. I don't know, it's interesting. Let's see, it makes his initiative go up. Now, in the space of a round, does every character act once, or does having a lower initiative allow you to potentially act multiple times before a round ends? I think I've asked that in a prior episode, but it's been a while since it mattered.
Fare thee well, Coke Swabber.
Pretty good in terms of points.
How may I help?
Use power level for the duration of the fight.
I cannot whack him any harder.
Everyone gets a turn in a round. So I feel like the warbow is better in turn-based then, because as long as you don't care about going last.
Absolutely.
Fortunate I use my turn. It doesn't actually cause any damage. Oh, the enemy had some kind of death rattle. Okay.
Oh?
Power surge, you mean? Death ray. Only affects enemies. Why are you walking so slowly?
I cannot whack him any harder.
Yeah?
May I be a candle in the night.
Because the ability was cast at a higher level.
Slowly dying of poison.
Dude, he really got stuck there? That's annoying. I thought I picked a different level 1 Cypher ability when I leveled up there. Maybe I misclicked. It doesn't seem terrible, but it doesn't seem great either.
Watch me work.
Pretty good damage. Pretty good for his points.
Right here.
He hits multiple times on a target now instead of hitting multiple targets. So I feel like it's a little bit more flexible than before.
Yeah, that's how it's done.
I like his new weapon a lot. Kaboom! Coral Naga Sword. Let me camp. Oh, they have to eat something. Okay. I don't think I realized that before. Eat those vegetables every day. Get my perception boost. Wake her.
Reckon that's the first time I ever bore witness to my own demise. It was not pretty.
Poor Shodi.
Never woke with such a driving need for reaping before. It's making my hands shake.
Maybe the desire would ebb if you killed someone close to us? What? Didn't the cleansing work?
It did for a while, but then it wore off. All this essence I've gathered, it soaked the blessing right up. Left me with hardly none. You sound like my high priestess Samhain. She never shuts up about the living, when she ought to worry more about the dead. Seems the more souls I gather, the better I see Gaun's will, and the less I get a wink of sleep.
Your nightmares are getting worse?
Night or day, sleep or waking. It's getting harder to tell what's real from what's just yet to come. There is something I'm meant to do, though, once I gather enough souls.
Hell, they're getting all the duty points.
Gaunites, we're supposed to shepherd lost souls, not just gather them. The harvesting's only the first part. If I were to dump the souls, it might make me dream less, like before. Or, darn it, who knows? Maybe it'd just make it all worse. Either way, I've got to find my purpose.
Turns her face away, bottom lip trembling. Her fingers reach for the hem of your shirt.
Will you help me, Watcher?
Sure.
I was hoping you might would. Sometimes I feel like, with you by my side, I can stand against gods.
Add your vein and release your burden. It's the best way to ensure the souls reach the beyond. Keeping the souls would make you a better priestess, Jesus.
It'll need to be a potent source to overpower the draw of my lantern. It's gotta be luminous for sure. That's one problem solved. But what about the itty-bitty issue regarding the god of rebirth not actually being in hell?
So hold up. Is Luminous Audra is it a binary feature of Audra? Is Audra either luminous or not, or can like one kind of Audra be more luminous than another, and then that one be less luminous than another?
The souls will make it safely, but who's to see to their proper reseeding? This is a huge risk of Aora's balance. You really trust Mogren not to rebirth Aethasians as warriors of the flame? Think Galawain won't be greedy? Gone aside, the gods' past actions don't instill me with the greatest confidence.
I can't use religion because I'm talking to the person who gives me all the religion points. Hasn't made clear. Yeah, so I wasn't certain if it was the kind of thing where you could be like, oh man, this magic rock is super magical. It's got like 9,000 magic points in it. Okay. What else would you propose?
I'd simply safekeep him until the god of rebirth could return to hell.
Well, it's like, I guess it's the difference between like orichalcum versus mithril, which I guess is how I'm thinking about it right now. Like orichalcum is just a better metal than mithril with different properties. It's the same for any piece of orichalcum you ever find. Versus, I don't know, like materia, where you're like, okay, this is a stronger materia than that materia.
You're right. I ought to deliver as many souls to hell as I can before it's too late.
Oh, that's nuts, Spiky.
We need to empty my lantern right away. Gods, but you're clever. This is why Gon directed me into your path. I just know it.
Thanks, Shoti.
So you're saying you're literally a pirate of the mind? You sail in and steal people's thoughts?
Behold, lass, I'm the original psychic piratical.
Not hardly. Even I've heard about Malnage. She's a cipher like you, ain't she? Only older.
Ugh, had to dredge up my cruel rival. You should know her arsehole itches when mention being made of her.
What a nasty hex. Tell me you weren't the one that put it on her. Darn, I hope that doesn't make her itch. Hell, or that. Now I'm just making it worse. I best shut my mouth before I cause more damage.
I like your style, kid.
More or less appearances of the same mineral. Okay, that's helpful. Oh, Servant's Liam O'Brien. I guess I don't hear voice too well. At least he's doing something other than Sleepy Liam or Angry Liam.
Shut the door, quick, before the Naga get in.
I'm here to help.
We're the finest soldiers and cannoneers in Aora. We don't need anything.
You can read the signs. Whatever she saw here has rattled her to her core.
Folks that saw Widewind on the field of battle, ones that lived, used to get rounded up looking like this. Some got reassigned, but most they sent home.
Sorry, Widewind was the Jesus mortal body that Aethys possessed that got blowed up by the god Hammer. Is that right?
Wait, you're not the reinforcements.
Yes.
There are supposed to be reinforcements.
When did we play Pillars of Eternity 1? 4 years ago? Tell me what happened here. Hazanu Ikaru sent me to find out what happened here. Let's go on. I come on the authority of all the powers on Nekataka.
So, was this destruction the work of the Valians? Or maybe a trick of the Wada Queen?
No, you douchebags. Calm down and tell me what happened here.
The first thing was the Colossus. It showed up a few days ago, a week ago, I can't be sure. But it was huge. Glowed like luminous Audra.
That was Aethys. What happened next, I'm saying instead.
Fleetmaster Co. ordered the Gunhawks and Cannoneers to take up positions. They fought. The rest of us were sent below, like cowards.
If you'd fought, you'd be dead too.
We don't flee. We don't hide. I heard cannon blasts, artillery fire. Felt the world shake. Then the water started coming in. We came back up, and the others were... I don't know. Like they'd been turned to ash. And the Colossus was walking away. The fort was flooding, where it had broken our walls, and the luminous Audra in the lighthouse had gone dark.
So something just made me think of this, that like, I think I really appreciate when video games will do some kind of post-processing effect on voice actors based on whatever fantasy race they happen to be. I think Pillars and Skyrim are two games where it really stands out to me that they don't do that. Where you'll be talking to like a lizard person in Skyrim and they just, you know, they sound like Kelly from The Office or something. Like, what the fuck? You're a lizard person. I don't think that your vocal cords are going to sound the same as a human being, but whatever. I guess it helps me in my mind to get a sense of like, oh, okay, this person's from this area. It's something that Mass Effect does really well, that even if it's just, what's the word? If it's a subtle effect, you can tell just by someone's voice, like, okay, that's a Turian. That's what Turians sound like. Okay, that's a Krogan. That's what Krogans sound like. And you can still get different voice actors, so they have different timbre to them, but you kind of get a general idea from it. Anyway, I'm trying to think if I've played other games other than Skyrim and Pillars that are just like, fuck it. We'll just get all of the voice actors in a room and it will be as if they're all human. Where is this lighthouse?
On the western side of the fort. It's a true marvel, a monument to Rawatayan engineering.
proof we can tame and transform this place once we get rid of the scale bellies.
Yeah, I've noticed and appreciated the work on accents. I think that's kind of cool that the accents persist even if the person is of a different race. I wonder, it actually makes me curious how expensive those post-processing effects are. If it's like just a filter that you develop once and then you slap on all of the performances, or you have to tweak it for every line of dialogue depending on how the actor delivered it, right? Oh, Shoti's great. Could have used the Texas accent and more fantasy work.
The Naga.
They skulked in after, once our walls were down. Those of us who were left fought. But those cowards moved through the sunken hallways, ambushed us from below.
Those of you who survived ended up here.
Those snakes are little more than animals. No match for trained Rawatayan warriors. When the Hazanui's reinforcements get here, we'll strike back.
And build our walls back up so nothing gets through. And double our cannons, so we can destroy that Colossus if it ever comes back.
What do you have against these farmers? Colossus that marched through here was
That monster
Aethys.
that killed our people?
I suppose he does look like a monster from down here.
I told you, Zuhira. The Godhammer scrambled their god, and now he's taking his revenge.
Even the narrator flubbed some of them.
Our gods are above petty motivations like revenge. Now, Gon's got a bigger plan for you and me.
Don't jump to conclusions. Say nothing.
It's no coincidence your Aethys shows up just as Latharn storms out.
Who's Latharn, and what do you have against these farmers?
Dawn stars.
Fleetmaster Co. hired them to tend the fields that supply the mainland, but they started acting strange, dreaming strange.
You mean dreaming of things to come?
One of them, Latharan, had a row with the Fleetmaster over it, left angry just before the Colossus showed up.
Is that how you pronounce it? Umlauted A? You just basically pronounce the A twice in a row? Okay. Think about it. How could a bunch of farmers have done this? Let's say maybe there's something else here.
I think their praying called it here, getting back at us for the Godhammer. Even if not, they definitely know something.
I see. I thought that maybe umlauts were... At least diacritics were consistent. Shows what I know. Diacritics in this game mean nothing.
Spitting at our god? You ought to fear for the future of your soul.
Is there anything else?
This is a fortress. Surely you've got some way of fighting the Naga.
The finest cannons and bombards in the archipelago. Why, you can barely walk the ramparts without... There's still one. There must be one. They can't all have been destroyed. But you'll need a trained artillerist to aim it. Don't go back out there. You'll be safe here until reinforcements arrive.
Just stay away from the water. Damn scale bellies are hiding down there. They'll ambush if you get close.
Sometimes you can see them if you look carefully.
Thanks, guys. It's a tip.
You must gather.
I guess it's only IPA where you can be 100% certain what sound each character is representing.
Consider it done.
People turn to stone. Feel kind of bad for dissolving them, but... If I can really see them in the water if I get close here. Oh, looks like you can.
Who's in favor of the long way around?
Yeah.
Distant light. Okay. Do I have a way to like rotate this wall? And see if there's a keyboard command I can use to turn it. You can't reach him anyway.
Indeed.
Give me a
What do you suppose that belly thing is?
Yeah? They'll never know I'm here.
Doesn't even know way around there. Okay. It's a lot of dudes. Nope.
Oh? This won't do.
What can I do you for?
Knock these guys down so they don't move.
Yeah?
Can use this escape ability to climb up.
That order's too tall.
Too tall. Nope, totally can do it. Some Diablo 3 shit right there. So watch out for the fireball though. I'll wait till after it lands.
Right here.
Because Barbarian makes more sense when you get a higher level and you start with more rage. You don't have to spend forever eating corpses. Okay, thank you, concentration. Apparently.
Curses.
Nice.
Ahoy. Consider it right fucked.
That's not what I was expecting.
Ouch.
No can do.
Sweet.
Hey.
Nice.
Absolutely. Oh?
Alright, now things are starting to come together. I think this last level up I got, I was kind of in an awkward position with my abilities before. At least for the turn-based mode.
Let's wash that down with an antidote.
There's no reason to cast that twice, right? Hold on.
My pleasure.
Yes?
Curse of Blackened Sight. Anyone caught in the ray only affects enemies. That's what I'm talking about.
Happy to oblige.
Lava be on sea.
Sweet.
What for, Cap?
I think I took the wrong ability for Cypher by accident. It's kind of a bummer.
Ain't not my thing, savvy?
Sweet. That went reasonably well. Nagabow.
That's it?
Is respecking expensive?
What do you need?
They're cheap, okay. That's cool. Thank you. Everyone's got to get together, skill check together. Check for ammunition. If anyone knows how to load this thing and be that nervous lady.
Right here. Leave it to me.
It's like a grappling hook type situation. You can select this. Here we go. That's cool. Should see how many of these I have. Just the one, okay. To buy more of those later. I don't know if I want to use it when I have only one. Yeah, that's a really nice effect, Spiky. I've seen a couple games now too where it will let you like try the ability in a fake combat a couple times. See how much damage it does. I think I honestly just misclicked. I thought I was getting one that just did raw damage for 10 cipher points. I guess I probably don't need that though because his warbow is a ton of damage now.
Is there anything else?
Where can I find ammunition for the bombard?
Ammunition? We keep lots of ammunition. Get new shipments all the time from Rawatai.
Not for the bombard. Fleetmaster Ko fired it all at the Colossus. All that's left are cannonballs, and they're too small.
I feel like it would ease the experience and the option paralysis of picking it too if you could see a little image of them.
Maybe Imuro had some in his workshop. He was making these new explosive shells.
That's not really what you'd call a defensive weapon, wouldn't you say? More like something you'd lay siege with.
Anyway, you should check, just in case. Imuro's workshop was by the northern gate.
Storeroom key, thank you. I also would have accepted picking the lock for XP.
Watch and learn.
Why my eyes be open?
It's a tricky situation. It's one of those things, and I've always felt this way, especially with like wizard spells in D&D, that like giving the entire spell book, given that, you know, there's still an opportunity cost for casting any third level spell. It doesn't matter what it is. Once you choose to cast any of them, you now can't cast others, right?
We're not.
And given that most of the spell book is like super corner case, I don't think that it's effectively that different to give them access to everything. But then you have an opposite problem where instead of you having option paralysis before the game starts, you have option paralysis at the table, which is often worse. So I think that's kind of what's happening in this one, is they're like, well, we want to give you a minimal number of buttons in combat.
Do these people normally?
Grimoires effectively give you all the spells if you're willing to swap between them. Yeah, that makes sense.
Leave this much black powder lying about?
Hey, got off in time. That's nice. Wait. The animation played, but it didn't look like it actually triggered? They both look like they have full health. That's stupid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we're than Ross.
No, don't. She just does that in front of her once you activate her. Well, these barrels made the game go to like 2 FPS.
What do you need?
Good.
Oh?
Captain?
Shenanigans ensue. The players have less options. How flavorful and fun.
Hey there. How may I help?
I understand where you're coming from. I know it's like, well, missing is flavorful, or losing your turn or whatever is flavorful, and it's fine. I get it. It's not my style. I don't like it.
Yeah?
I don't think the fantasy of this feels realistic is worth the hassle of this is no longer fun for me. That makes sense. It's the same reason I don't want to have rules for players to go to the bathroom or keep track of non-magical ammunition or eating and drinking, unless if that's the entire point of the story. More power to anyone that is like simulationist and enjoys that part of it, but it's not my bag.
I got this.
Trap triggered.
Just a smidge.
Well, that sucked.
Give me a real challenge.
Intuitively, I don't think that restrictions breed creativity applies in the situation I'm describing, but I haven't thought about it enough to say why. So I'll think about that and get back to you. Why do I think those are different? I'll cede the point to you until I think of why I disagree, because I don't know yet. How is missing in combat able to generate creativity, I wonder?
Nice and quiet.
Toe cap.
Because, like, the problem that I see is the inverse situation where players can't rely on cool super situational abilities. Like, imagine there's a spell that only works on goblins, and if you cast it on a goblin, it causes the goblin to explode, dealing damage to everything next to it, right? No one's going to take that spell unless if they know 100% certain that the dungeon that they're about to explore includes goblins that they can explode in that way. Not just includes goblins, but includes goblins that are going to be packed together. So instead they pick reliable abilities, for the most part, that'll be versatile and work in just about any encounter. I mean, sure, you can use Magic Missile on enemy A, enemy B, or enemy C, but I think it creates less interesting stories than if they have lots of cool corner case options.
Right here.
Yeah, I guess I can see the puzzle comparison.
My pleasure.
I don't know, I think you could have a perfectly interesting puzzle where losing your turn isn't something you have to think about. Like, to me, you can have two almost identical systems mathematically, where one includes misses and the other one does not. And have equally compelling puzzles in both of them. Totem seems like that's a bad thing. As far as she can walk this turn, right? Or she can go a little bit further. I think that puts the onus on the GM to have a situation that allows the party to have 24 hours or more of preparation time to be able to prep the spell, right?
Something I can do.
I would roll my eyes, I think, as a GM if players were like, can we, like, go to the dungeon and, like, peek in the window and see what the enemies are and then go back to town and take a week to plan? Oh, I thought they died. They got cast invisible. Let's go.
Kinda stuck over here.
Oh, that's cool. It's like a channeled laser. Right on. That's a spell that's unique to his grimoire. Yeah. Cast Arcane Eye. Go spy, and then decide what you're bringing with you.
Of course.
If I activate Nimble after burning my movement, it no longer matters. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Kami, I feel like that's even worse, because then the GM is allowing the player to plan like that, and then Schrodinger's dungeoning them, right? Not even giving them the benefit of having prepared, or punishing them for having prepared. It's the kind of thing where I think that's zero-sum fun. I think that it will always be fun for the GM and basically never fun for a player to have something like that happen. So sometimes the characters will just start. Oh, it was hobbled. Okay, never mind. I didn't realize they had a status effect. Can I see status effects currently affecting? I guess it's all these little icons next to them, huh? I should just check those when it's their turn. Okay.
This is futile.
Reasonably on me. Oh, thank you. Beneficial effects for. Oh no, it works for allies too. Okay, thank you. That's a good tip.
Consider it right fucked.
Could use something to put a little pep in my step.
What do you need?
Well, you definitely shouldn't listen to me on the topic. Like, if I think I've said this before, but if I worked at Blizzard, I would be the Ian guy that tries to balance World of Warcraft using spreadsheets and argues, what? I don't understand what the problem is. They're mathematically identical, right? Game feel sometimes matters to me, but if I can see the code, if I can break whatever the gameplay loop is into its most degenerate form, I can get bored pretty quickly. It's like, I think the go scout the dungeon and see if they have goblins thing is like, that's just having access to all my spells, but with extra steps, right? I have somebody that can target all these guys. Death Ray. Yeah, that seems really strong. So it targets everything in a line, basically?
Yeah.
Or it'll hit anything between the caster and the target. Okay, I think I get it. Monk, Torment's Reach. Wait, okay, so let me just continue in that thought experiment. There's a really corner case spell that causes goblins and only goblins to explode, dealing damage to all of them. You're saying that a player could use that ability in a situation where they go to a castle and scout it out and find that it's densely packed with goblins. But while there, it might be interesting if they fail to scout and instead have to use other players' abilities in the first place because their perception rolls failed or whatever, or they couldn't stealth to sneak around. And so they don't end up casting the spell anyway because they're never going to get to the ability to prepare it, right?
Happy to oblige. Love will be on seek.
This is a goblin wizard.
Be blowing a man down.
I see. So, okay, that helps me to understand, Kami. You're saying that it's creating potentially new story because the wizard isn't able to do it all on their own. It's not entirely degenerate with just letting them prepare whatever spells they want. Now another player has to do something to help them formulate their plan. think I'd probably still think that the number of times that that gets to play out that way is astronomically small. It almost requires the DM telling the players what he plans to do so that they can make plans like that, right? It's the same, you know, Resident Evil preparation problem that I keep getting into lately, that like, how can you possibly prepare for something when you have no idea what's in the dungeon master's mind or the game developer's mind? Or synergy, if a good scout that acts as a force multiplier for a wizard ability and then pick more specific spells. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that that's pretty dependent on a very specific GM or game developer to party or player relationship, you know?
Keep it down.
That like the adventure is even written in the first place to allow scouting, or that the timetable even allows for more than a day to pass, right? It just seems like a lot of stars need to align for that to play out, even though I think it's a cool concept. Like that all strikes me as the kind of thing that I'd read about in a rule book. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. That's never going to happen in a real game. Or if it does happen, it's not going to be planned like that from the very beginning, right? Like, no player's going to say, I want to use this Goblin Scout skill. Hey, Rogue, can you go to the dungeon and see if there are goblins? Like, it'll all be super tactical. Whereas I think the implication of something like a spell book is that it's this strategic thing that you're doing.
This isn't how
That's fair, Kami. Yeah. I should save before I fuck around with this. Orient yourself in the passage. Down the dark hallway to the left. Swim onward. Failure. That's not good. Vomits a mouthful of seawater. Seraphim was injured. I really like the injuries in this game. I think they got a lot of fun design space for those, like narrative sequences and traps and that sort of a thing. It might be one of their smartest ideas in this whole game, and they've got a lot of smart ideas. Whew, that sucks. I feel like injuries are the way that I would do skill checks a lot of the times in tabletop, where it's like, you still succeed, like you still swim through the thing. Seraphim doesn't just like drown and now he's dead forever. But there's a pretty significant consequence that's going to come up later. They have some time to gather info, but it might not be all the info. Right? There's a couple skills like that that are frustrating. Like, I find knowledge to be a frustrating skill, where like for most situations I feel GMs don't want their party members to fail knowledge checks. It's one of the most fudged kinds of skill checks I've seen people do. Like, does anyone here have knowledge or religion? Everyone rolls it. Everyone gets like a 3. Well, this is common enough knowledge anyway. Right? Looter's head.
We're not alone.
Enough black powder here to sink Dunham. Beyond seek.
I feel like I need to give more stealth to Aloth.
Be right there.
What can I do you for?
What does Stagger do? Oh shit. Still I think that's what DMs eventually end up doing, Robin. They're just like, we're just not going to use knowledge checks unless if it's like not critical, optional information.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walter, exactly.
Here we go. Right on target.
Is everyone... people started to get multiple actions in a turn or something? Hold on. Oh, I guess Enter the Fray has always been free. Disregard.
Oh?
I feel like a challenge with knowledge checks in general is just that, like, if you script a knowledge check into your adventure, that means it's probably information that you want the players to know. And if players invoke a knowledge check on their own, it's often difficult to scramble to give them something relevant or helpful. So it's like the worst of both worlds. Identify creatures.
Yes.
Interesting. What's the rules as written on creature identification? Is there any like official guidance that says that the GM isn't meant to tell players like, yeah, this is a beholder, guys, or yeah, this is a red dragon? I've always done it that way. I'm just like, you know, this is on page 33 of the monster manual. Just to avoid the issue of occasionally having a player that would recognize it from the description and know its stat block.
This won't do.
Look at all that stagger. I do find that as an interesting use case where you're basically using knowledge checks to communicate metagame information to the players.
Yeah.
Just making it a time penalty makes sense.
Sorry, friend. I can't.
Sweet. That was a graze.
Oh, this isn't how I usually work.
He just has to wait until those status effects go away. I really like this death laser ability.
Yeah.
Nice. That's kind of clever, Leon.
What for, Cap? Fare thee well, Cog Swabber.
There's a walloping.
Fucking obliterated. Nice.
Yes?
I'm interested to continue having this conversation. I know for folks that are stands of tabletop RPGs and the kinds of things that I'm frustrated by, it can be frustrating to hear me talk about it, but I think it's just an honestly interesting topic. Like, sometimes I sit and I wonder whether tabletop RPGs are folly, that no one's ever going to make a truly elegant rule system that works for all use cases. Any rule you come up with is some trade-off. Like, you come up with the coolest idea for a rule of all time, but now, you know, the players have to spend more time paying attention to track it.
Cocked that up, didn't I?
What can I do you for?
Yes?
So it's either you eschew rules entirely and play a improv imagination game.
Yeah.
I guess it seems like the popular solution now is to just try to play in a rule set that is appropriate for whatever specific kind of thing you're trying to do. If you're trying to run a heist, there's a rule set that is the least possible hassle for a heist, but it's not going to scale to, like, combat or diplomatic missions or political intrigue, that kind of a thing. And I think maybe that's what frustrates me about Dungeons and Dragons, is that it tries to have one rule system that works for all these different styles of play, and I don't think that's possible, basically. Golden Sky stories for everyone all the time. There you go.
What can I do you for?
Yeah, I think that, to me, the spectacularly is the important part of the failing. I think it's possible to fail horribly and have that failure be, like, utterly boring, if that makes sense. From both a gameplay and a storytelling perspective. Alright, we are at time. Future Marstead, keep exploring this area. This is part of the main quest line, A Distant Light. So, do what you can here. After this, you could probably go back and do another side quest. I just wanted to get a couple steps into the main quest, get some more XP, get a good episode title, that sort of a thing. So many quests, oh my god. And I've actually gone out of my way to avoid areas because this list is already kind of freaking me out a little bit. It's okay, we'll get there. I think that the game's going to get faster as my party gets stronger and I get more options to wrap combat more quickly.